what we do when we record. All right, so we're going to build a watch list for tomorrow. And let's take a look at... Why is... there's the chat service. There we go. All right, so guys, if in the trade room, if you have any questions or whatever, just feel free to post them. And now I'm going to show you guys, let's take a look at SPY, right? So what a great day so far for SPY today. You guys will see kind of right here, here's the weekly chart of SPY. It moved right back up to, you can see this black line here is the 200 SMA. Very important support and resistance, or very popular support and resistance level. You'll see kind of going back, let's see if I can zoom out. You know, we're talking about, again, with trend lines, right? So you'll see kind of going back to right over here. Again, with trend lines, guys, very important. You want to connect as many peaks and as many valleys as you can. So support or resistance levels, peaks and valleys. So if you see right here, see I'm connecting this valley right up into right here. So you can see here's a valley, here's a valley, here's a valley, and it goes right over here. It bounced off of this valley up over in here. And now you can see price now, it's kind of piercing on the monthly, right above that pink line, which is the 50 SMA. Very, again, very popular level, 50 SMA, 200 SMA. So that's on a monthly. When you go to the weekly, again, now it's the 200 SMA. Very important level on a weekly. If we can get above that 200, that might be a decent sign. And then we got to see if it's got some room. You can see that red line, or that blue line, is the 9 EMA on the daily. The red line is the 20 EMA. And you can see that's the 50 up there. So now when we go to the daily chart, so ideally, again, we want to see price get above that black line on the weekly, which is the 200 SMA. When you go into the daily chart, really decent sign at this point. You can see kind of an inverse head and shoulders. So just picture this like a head. So kind of flip the head and shoulders upside down, right? So inverse head and shoulders. So picture this as a head, kind of this area as a left shoulder, and then this as a right shoulder-ish. And then you can see the neckline. We broke part of that neckline today right up over here, kind of right in this area. So kind of part of that neckline. Now we want to see if it's going to continue upwards. It's a decent sign. We like to see it getting over that red line, that 20 EMA. Now we want to see if it's going to continue upwards. And you'll see kind of when we go on this hourly chart here today, you'll see kind of almost a kind of inverse head and shoulders-ish, a little bit sloppy, but you can see there was kind of a cup and handle-ish pattern forming here. The handle broke out today, kind of, well, it broke the top of the cup right over in here. But I want to show you guys, again, when you're doing trend lines on different time frames and stuff, you know, again, if you're an intraday trader, you know, it's very important when you connect as many peaks and as many valleys as possible. And you can do that by, again, all the times change based on the opens, right? Or when it opens, you let the patterns form, and then you can kind of take your trend lines, you know, and say, you know, here's a support level. I can connect it down over in here so you guys can see, right? So price went up, came back down, kind of went up. So you can see here's a valley, here's a valley, here's a valley, goes out, right? Goes and extends in the future. And then when price starts to break the trend line, you know, many times you can get out at that point, or depending, again, whenever, you know, if you're using a 5-minute, a 1-minute chart, an hourly, again, it's subjective, right? So you can see kind of, or it's based upon your trading style or your trading preference. When you come up over in here, now you can connect some peaks right over in here. So you can see here's a peak, here's a peak, here's a peak. So kind of price goes up, comes back down, kind of goes back up again. So now this is where candlesticks and lowing patterns come in, because that's how you can connect your trend lines. You can see right here on a 5-minute was a bearish Harami pattern. So you can see there was a bullish candlestick and then a red candlestick inside of it. That's typically a sign of a reversal And so now, again, right up here, you're connecting these resistance levels, and this is kind of a rising wedge-ish pattern. Typically, when it fails, the wedge, typically it fails. But again, it's not, it's all different time frames. Again, this is a 5-minute chart. So this is kind of showing you guys this, as that's, you can readjust, right? So at this point, you hit resistance out here. Now this is where you can kind of redo it, remove that drawing, and now you can take your drawing tool again and go out over here, right? So now you can see it changes throughout the day, right? You see how you find these channels, right? Price goes up, kind of comes back down, up, comes back down here, right? There's some support right in here. It doesn't always touch perfectly, but you find these channels, and then you can see right up over in here, boom, it broke out of this resistance. You see how price at the end of the day, it broke out of resistance. What did it do? It came back down and retested it and failed, and now it's down underneath right in here, right? So you guys see, and then you could just kind of take this peak right down in here and now readjust it, right? Now you have kind of a megaphone pattern, right? So this is where it's very important. I'm showing you on a 5-minute chart, right? This can turn and just change it to an hourly chart. You can do this on a daily. You guys see how it kind of adjusts, right? When you zoom in. So when whatever your trading style is, and whenever you're getting in and out, whether you're an intraday trader, longer term, swing trader, it's very important to be able to connect these trend lines, because it all kind of intertwines onto the charts, right? So again, that's a good way to, trend lines with candlesticks. Again, it's good obviously you need it for entries and exits. But if you're new, right? So if you're new to us and following us, and you are trying to trade and you don't understand or know candlesticks, that's where you're going to potentially get really, really burned. So that's why we can't stress enough learning candlesticks, price action, all that good stuff. And so that, bringing kind of just where we're at. Let me just remove the trend lines. I got so many lines on my chart here. So this is super important, guys. This is very decent sign right now. If we can hold that 200 SMA on the weekly and continue up, this might have a chance to continue up, right? So we'll have to kind of take a look and see. Now I can kind of take my drawing tool right here on a daily chart, and you guys see that? Now I'm connecting a couple support levels down in here, and then I can go over onto the daily chart, and I can kind of connect. This is not perfect in here, but that's why sometimes it's easier to go to an hourly chart. Many times when you go to an hourly chart, it can do a little bit better on the daily, but actually we'll just go and zoom here. Do our best here. Kind of right up over in here. So it's kind of got, this may turn in, so this is where, on one hand you could look, oh man, great, the market's going to go up again. Then you could say, okay, well, hold on a second. This could be a major bear flag too as well. You guys see how something that may look really good, like an inverse head and shoulders, could also potentially be bad, right? So that's why price has got to get above this resistance level. Otherwise, it can smack off resistance, trap the bulls, and then fail. So you guys see how these patterns all come together with the trend lines, where again, you could look and see this is an inverse head and shoulders. All that's going to break out. Uh-oh, this may be a possible bear flag, right? So we can kind of go over... so it did break out of this. You guys see that line? It did break out of that today, but now it could come out over like this. And you guys can see if you come down here and you draw. So you guys see it's not as perfect. So I'm connecting a bunch of support levels right over in here. Kind of comes out, or I can go even into right up over here probably too. Let's just remove this one here. Dang it. There we go. So you guys see now there's kind of another megaphone pattern, right? So this is where, again, price is at a very, very pivotal point here. Ideally, you want to see it break out above that 270 area. So it looks great, but you can see there's kind of a rising wedge and then kind of a falling megaphone pattern. Price needs to get out, to break out above that. Is that making sense to you guys before I move on to the watch list? Everybody's quiet today. Awesome. Cool. Thanks, Ross. So let's get into the watch list for tomorrow. I'll reset and we'll do here. So it looked like my one from Bed Bath & Beyond looked like it went up decent today, but the one for the other two that I was bearish on did not do so hot. So you guys will see on... You'll see a bunch triggered except for Goldman Sachs and Nike. Those did not fail. Bed Bath & Beyond was at or above 394. That was right over in here. And it went up to 464 today. So that was a nice, decent 60-cent move. Let's take a look at what Nike and... So this is, guys, right? This is what I was showing you or telling you guys with patterns. They fail all the time. You got to be very, very... you got to be very good with your risk management. And you guys will see right here, there was that kind of that... Right here, this where it might be decent for the market. You guys see market was kind of right over in here at this point. And you can see there was that red spinning top candle. It looked like it was about to fail and then boom, fake out today and it broke out. So just because a lot of these patterns, it looks like it's supposed to fail at these levels, many times it doesn't and then it breaks out. So this is good. If we want this, right? We want to see this market go back up again. So I'm glad I was wrong on these ones today because again, this fake out, we want to see it continue and go up. We'd like to see this market go up again. So that's where Nike got. And same thing with what's up? Someone yeah, Mike. Got away from the right side of this. Pull the chart to the left about 5. Wait, what? Hold on a second. Let me see. You can't see my chart? Someone was saying the right side of your chart was hard to see. That might be on their end because on my Twitter, I'm looking at myself on Twitter right now and I can see my whole screen. So it might be on their end. Anybody else having a problem? Sig, can you see it? Oh, you see it just fine? Yeah, it might be on their screen. They might have to give a few bars to the right. When it's small as... I don't know. What the heck? Let me see here. I can try to move it over to here a little bit more. See if that works better for you guys. Is that better? All right. I'm going to keep going. If it's not fine, just let me know, guys. It's the way my chart usually is, so that's weird. A Goldman Sachs, another one, guys. So here was another one where it looked like it was failing that 9 EMA, and it got above it today. So good signs, guys. We like to see it. Now, again, at this point with Goldman Sachs, you'd like to see it get above that 20 EMA, continue upwards, and see if this is kind of a double bottom-ish or kind of inverse head and shoulders. Again, patterns are just very sloppy, so... wait, what are you showing, Sig? You can do it in settings when it's small is harder. What? Time access 5. Guys, I can't change it right now. You'll mess up my chart. You'll mess up my chart. This is what I've had these settings now for years. I've done hundreds of watch lists. You can just hold and grab the bottom of the chart with the mouse. Yeah, you guys have to show me afterwards. You'll mess me all up right now. All right. So let's get into the watch list for tomorrow. Let's do this. Let's flip it over to nightly scan. I've been doing something a little bit different. I'm trying to, if you guys will notice, I'm trying to get these ones where I'm doing the watch list a little bit different for you guys. What I'm trying to do, let's see how many, wow, shoot, that's a lot of plays. I'm not going to go through all those. I'm trying to get some ones that were less moving on the day that pull back for the small cap ones, because I want to get them on a bounce off a moving average line for a potential breakout. So I will show you. Hopefully there'll be some decent ones to look at for tomorrow. So we'll do the penny stocks one first, and then we'll do the larger cap stocks. And I'll go through. So this is perfect examples of stuff. I don't like these ones, right? Like far away from moving average lines. What I like to see for you guys, when I'll see it, I'll show you guys. I don't like the stuff in between here, the moving average lines. I like to see the kind of like this, right? The bull flags or the bear flags, or these nice little hammers, right? So you see a daily chart and a nice little green hammer. I ideally want to see these for you guys, and then so you can capitalize on the breakout. Or reversals. Let me see if there's one that I like. You know, like picture a green hammer reversal far away from the moving average lines back. So I like to see either like the bull flag or a cup and handle breakout or the small reversal, because I want to have some room for you guys ideally to move. Now, when the market's been tricky the way it's been lately, sometimes it's hard to find those setups for you guys. So sometimes we can only go with what we can get. Now this one may be interesting. This is an energy one. So I'm not a fan of these that trade sideways at all, right? But I'm seeing like this one right here, when I zoom in on it on the daily, it may be setting up for a squeeze to potentially break out. Let's look on that. So it already popped up to 294. Yeah, I think I'm going to skip that one. Let's take a look at, what is this one? No, not that one either. Okay, so this one maybe. So what I may like about this one right here, you can see prices closing above that 20 EMA. And if you see, right, connect to your trend lines, right? Kind of in here, guys, right? So you can see this one may get a pop. It's got about 550 resistance. I'd like to see a little bit more. So you guys see how, you know, it's not perfect, but, you know, kind of getting an idea of a pattern now. This one may be doing a rising wedge. Now, typically rising wedges, many times they'll move up and then they'll fail. This one, let me take a look at the hourly. Maybe. Meh. I'm kind of meh on it right now. I'm going to put it down for right now. There's a bunch of other ones to look at, so I might come back to that one in a bit. So I don't really like red hammers like that in between moving average lines. If that was a green hammer and it was above the 20 or down here, I would consider it, but not liking that one at the moment. So guys, again, kind of this is perfect trying to teach you guys trend lines, right? So this is an opportunity to teach you guys again. When you see stuff like this, now this is a bit overextended, this one right here, CCJ. That black line is the 200 SMA. Add a whole dollar amount, $9, after several green days. Now, typically, you got to be careful. This is where the shorts are going to typically be waiting at this around $9 to see if it goes up, rejects, and then fails and comes back down. And then you would look at this gap right here. See this daily gap? So the shorts would ideally like to see this reject at 9 and short it back down to these levels. Now, just to show you guys, when you're doing trend lines, this is the perfect example. You can kind of... Let me go to the hourly chart if that's better. Yeah, here's perfect. So a lot of times it's easier to draw trend lines on the hourly and then it goes into the daily. So you can see if I connect this area right here, see how I can kind of connect it out right here. So I can connect kind of right here to here, out into here, and then I can connect support levels right in here. So you guys see how I'm doing a channel, right? So price is down here, it goes up, rejects, comes back up, goes up, a little bit short, comes back down. So right now you have 1, 2, 3. You know, you want at least 2, but anything more is pretty decent, right? So now if you can get at least 2 to 3 support levels, now it's getting right up. See this right here? This trend line is going right up to that $9 where the 200 SMA was, right? So if it rejects around that $9, it may potentially fall down to these levels. So you see, this is very important. You want to be able to draw these trend lines. The way you draw the trend lines is you have to learn candlesticks. Super, super important. So then you find the bigger patterns and then the reversal patterns and the patterns within the patterns, all that good stuff. All right, so all that to be said is I'm not putting CCJ on there, but you see now when I go to a daily chart, you see how like it's not perfect, but you know, I mean, it gives me a good gauge. And then if you don't like the hourly, you could always kind of remove it and change it and go up to like here, you know, kind of connect over this level right out over into here, kind of a rising wedges pattern. Hopefully that's making sense to you guys. This means everything, guys. You know what I mean? If you just because you hear stocks moving, you know, again, it's going to be much easier to draw these trend lines and find the candlestick patterns and stuff on larger caps compared to small cap stocks. But you have to learn these patterns because it's everything when it comes to trading. Lots of garbaccio so far. This one might be interesting. Typically, I don't like these ones. You got to be careful of that crazy wick right there. But this one may be doing a triple bottom, maybe. One bottom here, possible bottom here. And then you can see, so here's like a side channel right here with a daily gap, right? So you can see right here. See how so I'm connecting peaks and valleys, right? I can connect some of these valleys and peaks, and then you can see a daily gap. Many a times price wants to go back and retest that gap area. So this one may be intriguing. So now I'll zoom into the hourly and say, okay, price is above the moving average lines on the hourly. This one may have a move up. You can see some resistance around that 993 as well. So if it can clear that area, it might have some room up. So I might put CLR. I'm going to put that on here for now. Where did I leave off? There we go. All right, so BlackRock again. So I think I had, okay, so BCX. Does BlackRock have two? Looks like there's two of them. Interesting. I'm not going to put that one on. Looks like BGY and, what was it, CLR might be similar. I'm going to skip over that one. So far, not much, guys, for the small caps. All right. So ADT, this stock got buried, huh? This one's right, it's bouncing off the 90 EMA right now. It's got that right at the 20, some resistance. Let's take a look at the hourly on that one. possibly if it can get above that 450-ish level. Don't love it. This one has maybe a possible double bottom formation. So this one you can see there's a bottom and a bottom. So bottom, bottom. Here's like the top of the double top. This one may be moving. Let's take a look at the hourly. All right. If this can clear that 350-ish level right around that 50 SMA, this one may have an inverse head and shoulders. If it can clear that 350, then that has some potential room. So I might put that one, what is that? C-R-A-R-Y. Crary. And if you guys don't see these patterns, just know it takes a long time to learn these, right? So that's why, let me show you guys this. So if you guys go to our website and you're logged in, right under courses in candlesticks courses, you'll see candlesticks patterns right here. That's our first course right here. So you'll see we have an ebook and 2 candlesticks courses. When you go to our first candlesticks course, click on ebook right here. This is really key right here, guys. Our candlesticks ebook, and then we have our wallpaper backgrounds right here. This is what we suggest doing, especially if you're new. Download our ebook, right? And open our ebook and have it in conjunction with both of our courses. So we put videos that are visual videos that go to each of the patterns that are in the candlesticks ebook, and it helps you to learn them a lot more. And then you'll see these wallpapers, which if I go here, you guys will see here's a wallpaper you can put on your background, right? So these patterns that I'm drawing for you right now, how did I learn them, right? Well, it took looking at thousands of charts, right? So it doesn't just come overnight. But when you just, when you have this stuff up, that's why, interchange them. Maybe take our, our bullish patterns, have it up there for one month. This stuff will get into your psychology or your subconscious. And then the next month, you'll do it to the bearish ones. And the next month, the reversals. So then you'll start to learn these patterns. If you don't know what these patterns are, you're not going to make money in the stock market, and unless you get lucky. You get lucky for a period of time. But if you don't know what all this stuff is, it's very hard to trade. But once you learn these patterns, this is a skill you'll have for the rest of your life. And this is where you can see, you're drawing your trend lines, looking at your entries. This is where you manage your risk, right? So when do you enter? Where do you exit a trade? If the trade goes against you, where do you place your stop? So again, if you don't know candlesticks, it's going to be very difficult to trade because candlesticks form all of these trend lines, right? So you see the trend lines, that are formed through these bigger overall patterns. You can see cup and a handle. You can see the top of the cup. Then you can, again, where are you going to manage your risk if the trade goes against you? All of that stuff. So again, if you're new, we highly suggest taking our, download our ebook and take our courses. They're not fun. It's tedious, right? It takes some time, but this is everything. Once you can learn these patterns, it's a lifelong skill. It just takes some time to learn, and it takes a while to seep into your subconscious. But when you get it seeped in your subconscious, it's unbelievable. And you'll start seeing stuff like you'll be outside and you'll be looking at the mountains and you'll be like, oh, that's a double top, or oh, that mountain's a head and shoulders. It's crazy stuff, guys. So that's what I do, or double top or a double bottom. All right. This watch list sucks for the, darn, this is a terrible one. Let me try to reverse it. All right, I'm going to try to get a couple more for you guys. That one did not work out the way I wanted. All right, So these are the ones I try to avoid. Like, so you can see the high a day ones that are nasty. I try to avoid these ones because they're huge movers on the day, and then they end up being like high wave candles, and I just not a fan of those high waves. Or, you know, again, they'll have continuation days, many of these as well. But I try to get them before they break out for you guys. But this one may be okay right in here. So this one may ADNT. If that can get above that 940-ish, let's see. Yeah, okay, so I like to start to see this because now this may be forming kind of a flat top. This is where you could use that 9 EMA as a guide. And if it can get above that 984, this one may be doing kind of a cup and handle-ish. So I might put that one on there. See that? Possibly. Don't love it, but we'll put ADNT down here for now. Try to find one more, and then we'll go to the large caps. Oh, you're saying, Rocky, you're saying, oh, you like it's having the right space, the space to the future. Yeah, I know what you're saying. I'm just not a huge fan of that, but I see what you're saying. The white space. Dan likes that. I'm not a huge fan of that, but maybe I'll do that for you guys at some point. That's up here, I believe, right? Let me see. I forgot where that was. There you go. Is that what you want, Rocky? Right here? Just you like to see that extra white space over there? There you go. Excuse me. All right, let me make sure I saved that. Perfect. Yeah, I see what you're saying. All right. So EHT, ANF, AMRN. Thanks, Mike. Abercrombie and Fitch took a big dump. Good. I'm not really a fan of their clothes anyway. I like Urban Outfitters, ASOS. Urban Outfitters, though, man, they got some weird clothes nowadays. So, guys, again, you look at a chart and you're like, okay, what does that look like, right? You know, overall pattern, right? When you do trend lines again, connect this peak. See that? Here's a peak. Here's a peak. Here's a peak. And then here's a valley. Here's a valley. You know, it can go out right here, right? Here's a valley. Here's a valley. Here's a valley. Here's a valley. That's kind of a falling wedge-ish pattern, right? So it may want to try to move up again. You can see here now. So again, this is what I was telling you guys, patterns, right? Candlestick patterns, trend lines. There's a bigger overall pattern. But then let's look at some other patterns, right? A bottom and a bottom. This may be a double bottom pattern showing a potential reversal up, right? You can see here's the top, here's a bottom, here's a bottom. If this can get above the 20 EMA and move up, this may be a potential reversal pattern forming, right? And then you can kind of draw your trend line up over in here so you can say, all right, let's kind of do something similar, kind of like this. And now when I go into a daily chart, you can see, okay, let's watch and see. Is this going to continue up? Again, I don't like, this is not the way I would do trend lines for a daily, but, you know, just kind of looking and seeing. Will price ride and move up and then break out above that 1060-ish level, right? So bigger overall falling wedge, a double bottom, but then you got to understand these single candlestick patterns as well, right? Very important. All right. Everyone see the grandbaby pictures? Oh, I promise looks like Lucian. Yeah, Mike, that was funny, man. That picture is awesome. Can you send that again? Post that in here. I want to put that on here. That was an awesome pic. AMRN, someone was saying, right? Yeah, post that pic in here, Mike. Eesh. Weird. It may be a flag, but I don't know. Let's take a look at the hourly. Yeah, it's kind of not looking so hot on the hourly. Let's try to find one more. I want to find at least. Oh, now, okay, this one. I'd like to see a little bit more. So this is what I was saying for reversals, guys. I'd like to see this. You know, kind of a hammer. Might have a move up. I like to see it a little bit further away than the moving average line, from the moving average lines. Although this one may be kind of setting up. You know, it's got a 20-something cent move. It's a dollar stock. So this is a perfect example, guys, for those that like the real smaller cap stocks. You know, if this one can break 104, you know, and it's got, you know, it can move up to 124, that has the potential of a 20-cent move. And if you're scalping, you know, 10 cents out of it, right? This is how you could build an account with small caps, right? If you bought for instance, I'm not saying to do this, right? But let's say this has potential to move 20 cents and you bought 5,000 shares of it, right? And it has the potential to move 20 and you were trying to scalp 5 cents or 10 cents out of it, right? 5,000 shares times 0.10, it's $500, right? So that's a way that, you know, again, you have to see the patterns intraday and see what's going on. But that's why I wouldn't necessarily discount it. I might put it on because there's really not much to look at. I'm going to try a couple more, and then I'm going to go to the larger cap stocks. Oh, oh, dude, that's epic. I'm going to pull that up right now. Hold on. Oh, why can't I? Let's see. There we go. So that's Mike's grandbaby. That's little Lucian right there. Mike, is your grandbaby wearing a pot hat? Is she wearing a pot hat? Is that a marijuana leaf right there? You guys promoting the ganj on her? Is it? Weed stocks. Love it. Hilarious. Yeah, that's me. Like it. We should get her a Bullish Bears hat, Mike. Oh, speaking of which, that's what I wanted to show you guys. Speaking of which, I meant to start this stream out. Guys, what do you guys think in the trade room here? All right, here's me going on a little bit of a deflection or different. There we go. Guys, all right, you guys want to see something funny? I'm creating some merch. I don't want to put it out to sell yet, but I want to get your guys' opinions on this. So tell me what you guys think of this so far. So I want to see, does this look even to you guys? Buy high. First of all, buy high, sell low. You guys get that, right? You guys get what I'm trying to do with that? I want to see, you guys get the joke? Haha. Right here, I want to see if this looks right. I'm trying to design it. I think it's pretty evened up. Does that look right to you guys, like as far as symmetrical? That was the first one. I've got also this one right here. Pumping ain't easy, right? I have the logo right here on the arm, right here. So we have, yup, but did you think of making high like a cloudy print? Oh. I get what you're saying. Buy high. All right. That's for man, you got a lot of pot on your brain, Mike. Maybe. I try to get things uniformed up. I like to have it kind of stylish, and I like to have it like, I don't like to have it, I like it kind of trendy, if that makes sense. So I like it where it's, uniformed, and I'm also not the best with Photoshop. So that's my first. I don't know if Creed is on. Creed is good with Photoshop. Creed, you on, brother? Chart pattern on front. I like to have it clean, man. I like clean. Here's my, I think that might, so pumping ain't easy. That might be my second favorite. But now might be my new favorite one. This is my favorite one right here. Do you guys like that one? That might be my favorite. You guys get it? Short Rona. Oh, that's going to be my new favorite one. So I think I got that one even. The only thing is, so I got the O's. The O's are right in line. The S looks pretty good with the right in here. The T, I don't know. I don't know if I could make it any better, but it looks like everything else is pretty uniformed up. Yes, I love the short Rona. So I think I'm going to get the black and the white one like this. I think I'm going to do Pumpin' Ain't Easy in the white and the black. And then I think I'm going to do a gray of this, gray and black. So I'm just finalizing it. Do you guys like the looks of this? I want clean. I don't want to make it like cartoonish or whatever. I want it like trendy and kind of clean. So that I just want to make sure that it looks good. I can make more stuff later, guys. The last thing you guys want me doing is designing merch. That's a very painful subject for me. Speaking of which, my hat. We designed the hat, and yeah, I could do that. Absolutely. Have a little car on the front. I'm going to do the hats as well. I think I'm going to order the hoodies for now, and then I'm going to do hats. I also did this one too, which was the, let me see if I can, I might put this one in later. I'll show you guys, I'll show you guys a couple other ones that I haven't put out there yet. I had a thought. Let me show you guys this. Here was the other, oh, can you not see that? Why can't you see that? Well, that's weird. Oops. That's odd. I don't know why it did that. Oh, there you go. Can you guys see that? I was gonna put this one on a shirt too, on a tank top. Dan said the bra looks way more douchier than bro. Well, we have Bullish Bears merchandise already. So if you guys go to our store, I'm not trying to show the store right now, but if you go to the store, there's already some merchandise in here. I'm trying not to put any more. So we have hats and hoodies and all this stuff down here now. So these are my favorite hoodies right here. But I was trying to do some fun ones that are just not logo-ish like these in here. So that's where I just want it to be clean and crisp. I don't want to jumble it all up. I could put the logo. The thing with that, I may put them on there again with a bigger one with the logo. I probably will. Man, I got to get back into doing this again. It's annoying. That was the whole problem. You guys all wanted merch in the past. I spent hundreds of hours, I'm not even lying, hundreds of hours on merchandise, and then you guys didn't buy the dang merch. So that's why I don't want to go crazy with it. I'm doing this more for myself because I want to wear the hoodies. But, I mean, right now, you're not even asking me where can I get the Hope is Real hat. And I can tell you, you can't get that anymore. It's vintage. It's a vintage hat. Oh. All right. Let's go back to the watch list. Let's do large cap. Actually, let me put the alert levels for these ones first, and then we'll do large cap. All right. So what is that? 940, 980. 980. And then all right, so let's do this one. Possible double bottom on daily. Watch for possible continuation up with resistance between 980 or resistance around $10. Whole dollar amount if it can clear 980. So see if it can continue above 940s, 980s, and then obviously $10 range. Watch for a possible double bottom. What are you guys saying? Well, Adam, I can get better deals. To be honest with you, man, I don't. The reason why I use that site is the quality's good. Oh, that's right. We have another. That's not our actual web. There's actually another. I'll show you an example. Let me just go to the store. Bullish Bears right here. That's the reason why I like those ones are more expensive, but the reason why I use them is because the quality is good. I'm going to show you the other one, which it's not bad actually. I have the merchandise store taken down right now, but we have like men's apparel. So I actually have it already over here. Their site's a little bit slow. Dang, what the hell's taking them so long? There we go. See, I already have this stuff already done. But I mean, you know, we had the stuff out there. You guys didn't buy any of this stuff. So that's why I kind of took it down. Me personally, I just created the shirts because I like them and I think they're awesome. These, like me personally, I don't really wear stuff like this. You know, I like more trendier kind of style. So that's why I liked the hoodies that I just did. So we have them, but those, so yeah, those ones are cheaper. If you saw, they were a lot cheaper for the hoodies and the shirts and stuff. So, all right, let's get this one over with. Abus, ABUS. All right, so let's do this. All right, possible hammer on daily. Watch for potential move up with resistance around 9 EMA on daily. People wearing it want people to know what it means. Yeah, trading. Yep. Yeah. I hear you, Adam. More people would. Yeah, that's why I don't really care. That's why I'm not even putting it up there to sell. I just wanted to get the shirts myself, and I'm going to put it in the store because you know what's going to happen. I'm going to wear the shirts. I'm going to rock it. I'm going to style it right. And then you're going to say, hey, where can I get that short Rona hoodie? And then I said, you can go buy one. So you don't make much on merchandise, so don't think we're trying to make a ton of money on merchandise because you really don't make money on merch, not much. All right, possible double bottom on the daily. Let's see. Possible double bottom on daily. Watch for possible move up with resistance between $3.50 to $4 ish. Yeah, there's gray. There's gray. You can change colors. So like when you go over there, you could do, where was it? I mean, they got it. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this is such a pain point for me. Guys, if you only knew, if you only knew, I can't get into the story. But you can change the color. So right here, if you go over here, you can click and change the color. Way better with gray. Right? So, but you know, that's what people put in the stores. Like I had all the cool colors for the women and all the colors, and everybody's like, you got to put it black and white because that's why you got to put it in the store. But me personally, I'm like, a woman's not going to wear it. You know, they may, but like, you know, it's cuter with the pink or whatever. What the hell's going on with the site? There we go. You know, you can change the colors. When will I put it back up? I don't know. I had to decide first to see if the ones... I'll put it back up at some point. That's such a pain in my butt. I want to tell you guys a story. I just can't tell the story right now. It's too much of a wound. But I will put it back up. So this is what the heck? A triple bottom-ish. 10 to 10. Between $10 to $11. Let's see. All right. Triple bottom on daily. Watch for possible move up with resistance between $10 to $11. And BCX, last one, kind of a rising wedge. 550. Rising wedge, watch if support holds and moves up with resistance around 550-ish. All right, so that's it for the day trade watch list. It's kind of meh. Let's go to large cap. Might be a little bit more fun to do. Yeah, that's true, Adam. Yeah, absolutely. It can be very profitable doing it. It's just nobody's, you know what I mean? It's nobody, trust me, we had it up here. Nobody bought this stuff, you know? But, you know, like that's where, like I said, I don't give a crap about making money on merchandise. I really don't. But like, so this was more cheaper. So me personally, I don't like this. This is like too cheap for me because I like more trendy, but most dudes are like, oh dude, let me just get a t-shirt and okay, cool. Then they'll buy a $20-something t-shirt. Right. But for me, I like this better with the quality because this is better quality. So you'll see that's why I wear, you know, my hats right here. Right. So I got hats, right? So this is the style, like I actually wear these, you know, so I wouldn't, you know, if it's kind of a crappy hat, I'm not going to wear it. So this is the stuff I put in here in the stores, a little more expensive because I wear it. It's new era. It's cool. Actually probably going to buy that tonight. And this is fun. So like, you know, this is more fun to buy, you know what I mean? I like it like, oh, buy high, sell low. Haha, that's funny. Or shorting Rona. That's classic. That was my idea, guys. I thought of that. I love it. Like I love it. I think it's awesome. So now if I throw the hoodie on, then you see, oh, he's wearing short Rona, right? You don't make, but again, so you'll see, right? The pricing, it's $60. It's expensive, right? But that's a nice quality Champion hoodie. I don't like it compared to, you know, I'd rather, you know, so you could buy a freaking $20 less, but it's kind of It's kind of like meh. Hanes hoodie, like I'm not gonna wear this, right? That's what I even put out there. Some people will. I don't like it. You know, it's just like like I'm not wearing that. But I'll tell you what, guys, these super expensive, but I wear these. I wear the heck out of these made in the USA ones, and they don't pill and do whatever. So that's where that's where me personally, I buy this for myself to wear it. You'll see I actually got what I got. Where is it? I can't sell this anymore. This is part of the womb, but I had the Hope is Real one right here, zip up hoodie. And this thing is great. It's been such great quality. Oh well. All right, large caps. Yeah, the masses want to learn to trade. It should speak to that. Yep. I'll make more down the road, guys. Trust me, you won't. Like, for any of you guys that know me by now, I can do one thing. I can teach, I can trade, or I can design merchandise. You want me to try to do 2 out of those 3? I can't. I either teach, or I either trade, or I either design merchandise. My brain does not. I do not do well multitasking at all. I'm terrible at multitasking. Speaking of which, oh, Boeing today. If any of you guys watch Portnoy on Twitter, oh, I love him. He's so freaking funny. He had a meltdown today because he went short Boeing today, and the thing just he went short on it, and he had a meltdown, and he like nailed his he was not happy. I think he lost $500,000 plus today or something today on shorting Boeing. So I actually might put long Boeing, potentially. So you can see Boeing has some resistance right around that 160, the 20 EMA, right? We can do, let's go to the hourly. So you can do kind of, maybe be looking to set up. You can see, so at this point, I almost don't even need to draw my trend line because I can use that blue line, that 9 EMA, as a as a guide. It has an evening star pattern on the hourly. You know, that's typically bearish, but it might be bouncing off that 9 EMA, and it might have some potential to continue up. I'm going to put it on as a potential bull play. So I hope Portnoy didn't hold overnight, because that would be probably bad. It was so funny. He goes, oh well, looks like I got to give 25% of $5 million to E-Trade, cut him a check. I'm like, oh, that guy's funny. So if you guys do this, now you can connect your trend lines out like this. So now you can see right here, right, connecting these support levels. So this one may move up 150 to 160 range. So I'm going to put that on. Let's see. Watch if price can clear 150-ish with resistance around 20 EMA on the daily. So watch if it can clear this candle, today's candle. If it can, watch for some resistance right around 160. All right, so that would be Boeing, BA, potential bull play. American Express might be interesting. Want to see if it can fill this gap around 85.11. You guys see that gap right there? Maybe doing kind of an inverse head and shoulders, or a kind of a sideways inverse head and shoulders-ish. I don't like them when they fly in the wind like that, the candles. I like it when it pulls back a little bit more, but it may want to go up and fill that gap. And if things are bullish, if the market goes bullish, it might have a chance to fill the gap around 85.11. And then if so, watch that 20 EMA around 87.65. So let's do... All right, so watch if price fills daily gap around 85.11-ish and continues up with resistance at 20 EMA or around 20 EMA on the daily. Remember, guys, if the market goes up another bullish day, not saying these will go up, but typically these large cap stocks move with the market, so they might have a pop up, you know. And what else we got? I'll try to find at least one more for you guys. So you guys will see I showed right here an inverse head and shoulders, right? Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. This is AMD. And you guys can see, right? Here was a falling wedge-ish pattern. Price broke out of the falling wedge. Now, if I remove these drawings, peak level right up in here, and then some resistance up in there. Let's take a look at the hourly. It's a bit overextended. Could still continue up. It's just a little bit more overextended than I'd like. All right. McDonald's. No. Okay, so look at that, guys. I was charting Apple earlier. Shoot, come on. Oh, that's actually well, that's a 4-hour chart. Okay, perfect example, guys, right? You see this channel falling, this falling down channel, right? And then price breaks out of it. If you're bullish, that's what you like to see, right? So price is in this kind of falling wedge, breaks out. Now you want to see if it can get above that right here, that 263-ish area. If so, it might have some potential continuation upwards. But you can see also some resistance right around there as well. You guys see how these trend lines are very important to pay attention to? But the thing is, you want to buy at support. You have to be very careful at resistance. You want to buy near support levels, like down in these areas, right? Down in these areas. You got to be very careful out here. It may be forming a flag on an hourly. It's just very overextended at the moment. Twitter maybe. Let's see on the hourly. All right, so this is what I like to see. Twitter maybe, it's a little bit above the 200. It may be forming a possible flag or a pennant. So if you guys see, if I clear my drawings, I like to see this. There's kind of a top right around in this level right in here, right? There's kind of higher lows forming, right? So kind of, you can almost use that 9 EMA, right? Kind of use that 9 EMA as a trend line, maybe forming an ascending triangle pattern on the hourly If so, it needs to clear that 2505. And then if it can, it might have some move up to that 26, that 20 EMA. That's a possible dollar move or so. So that's where I start to look at that a little bit more. I think I'm just going to put Twitter on and I'm going to call it a day because I am tired. Maybe. I don't love it, but again, I got to take what we can get at this point. Possible ascending triangle on 1 hour. Watch for possible move up with resistance around 20 EMA on daily. All right, looks like that's what we got. Twitter down here. And that's what I got for you guys. Any other questions before I go, guys? SLV. You're welcome, Ross. Appreciate it. Nurse Trader. Nurse Trader. Does that mean you're a nurse and you're a trader? Nurse Trader. Awesome. Are you I don't want to ask too many personal information. Can you say what state you're in? I was just curious as how are things going that you're noticing. So you can see with SLV, kind of a cup and handle-ish. You guys see this? Watch trend lines, right? Here's a base, here's a base, here's a base, here it goes up. And then you can actually kind of connect kind of in here. So there's kind of a rising channel. It's tougher with these with gold and silver. You ideally want to get some smaller candlesticks off of support. It could continue up and you got resistance up in here. The problem is it could also pull back and give half that candlestick before it goes up as well. Or a traveling one in Nevada, waiting for the surge like other West Coast states. Yeah. Hopefully we don't get the surge, but I'm sure there's something or coming, that's for sure. All right, guys, let me see. I think that is it for now. Make sure you add some FA to your analysis. Yes, that's your job, Mike. I let you guys do all the FA work, and then I just see it, right? That's the whole thing, guys, right? Fundamental analysis. Very, very important. But, me personally, I'm more of a technical trader. I'm a short-term trader. I let the fundamentalists, or I guess, yeah, that's the right word, right? I let the fundamentalists do their work. They do all the hard work. And then remember, there's how much fundamentals, yeah. How many people that are, tongue twister, right? That are doing all the fundamental work in all of these candlesticks. They do all the hard work. They leave the clue on the charts. And then I'm just coming in, trying to scalp, get in, get out. That's my style. Yes, thank you so much, Nurse Trader. Appreciate it. Thank your delivery drivers. Thank your medical industry. Thank your supermarket people, man. Heroes out there. My goodness. Right? They get paid nothing to work in a supermarket. I'm in there with my Bane masks on, you know, with my rubber gloves and my Bane mask on. And I do feel better now, guys, that people are starting to wear masks now. So I do feel better because I told you guys about the old guy that yelled at me. He shamed me the other day. And he probably doesn't know that I would have probably been good friends with the guy, but he was yelling at me saying, hey, you shouldn't wear that mask. I knew it. I told you guys, I knew it. I knew they were lying about the N95 mask. I knew it. And I'm sorry, but I'm not giving my N95 mask up. Plus, it probably stinks anyway because I've been wearing it. But I knew they were lying. I knew they were lying. I absolutely knew they were lying. I knew it. So now I got my masks. So now I'm glad people are wearing the mask so I don't have to feel so bad. Speaking of masks, I wonder if anybody has anything to say today. Who has something? Who might want to say something? Trump, you got anything to say?
Hello, American people. I told you guys there was going to be a big bounce. Believe me.
Right? The big bounce. We'll see if this is the big bounce. I'll say. That might be a... We'll have to see. We'll have to see. We'll see if he foots the bill and prints our way out of there. Otherwise, guys, we hope this turns into a big V pattern. Otherwise, this could be a nasty looking bear flag. Because, if this falls out of that rising wedge right here, timber, that ain't not good, guys. We want this thing to bullish. We want that breaking out. It's still scary looking. And it's hard to believe with the country going to be out of work for another month. Look at that, guys. Right at resistance. Right on the weekly. I don't know. It's hard to believe the stock market's going to completely... Unless, who knows? Is Trump speaking yet right now? Task Force should be speaking soon. I want to take a listen to that, see if they have any decent news. All right, guys, you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you all later. Enjoy.